Hi everyone, now when it comes to smartphone filmmaking, keeping your lens clean is absolutely vital for a clean, clear image. It doesn't matter if you've got your focus right, if you've got your exposure right, you've got ND filters on to make it look great for the exposure as well, you've got someone looking glamorous like me in the shot. If your lens isn't clean, it's still not going to be the perfect looking shot. Now, how does the dirt actually get onto your lens? Well, it comes of course from everyday use. Unlike a regular cinema camera, your phone is always in your front pocket, in your back pocket, in your coat pocket. Well, in fact, it can make your screen quite milky, give yourself a bit of a misty kind of image. Now, this is where the Moment pen comes in handy. This is the cleaning pen from Moment. It's $9.99 on their store. I highly recommend people get this. If you pop one side off, this is basically the de-smudger on the pen. And if you turn the pen 180, you'll see you've got this little red lever here, which if you slide up, reveals the brush component of the cleaning pen from Moment. So this will get rid of your dust. Now, as we can see on this iPhone 8, you've got the smear marks on the lens itself. You can see the fingerprints around the lens. So to clean something like this, I would use the de-smudger. So look at how dirty that lens is. And now if we use the de-smudger, I'm going to give that just a nice little clean on the lens there. Wipe all around as much as you think is necessary, of course, to get rid of any dirt that you can see. And there's still some smudges, so it's going to give it a nice little swash around. And now you can see that lens in the light, out of the light, whilst we've got still the fingerprints around it, that lens is completely clean now. It looks absolutely fantastic and it's good to go. And then of course, if you just have more light dust on the top of the lens there, you could just brush that off and give yourself a nice clean lens. There's been plenty of times when I've been filming, I've managed to catch it just in time before actually hitting record, where I've looked at the shot and I've been thinking, there's something different about this, but I'm not quite sure what it is. I then check the lens and sure enough, it's got thumbprints from when I picked my phone out of my pocket, or it's got a lot of dirt on it from my pocket. Now this is my 58mm telephoto lens by Moment, and naturally I want to keep this thing damn clean to get the best image possible. But when I was out filming recently doing some test shots for my short film, it rained and I actually got a few smudges on the actual lens there, and you can see there's a few marks, little dots and sort of shadings on there and dust as well. So we're going to use that de-smudger because if we use the brush is actually only going to do so much for this type of dust. We can get rid of the dust itself, the light bits, but you can see that the smudges are still on there and the markings. So we want to get rid of all of that dirty markings on the lens to make sure we get a nice clean image. So we're going to use the de-smudger. I don't know how well you're going to see this until the end, but it's cleaning the marks off of this really, really well and should give us a nice clean lens. But you can see now that lens is so much cleaner than it was before. And there's still, as I say, a few little marks which you just need to keep check on. But already within, what's that, 1 minute if that is a nice clean lens. Now, part of these lenses that you have to really think about as well is the actual back part of the lens. So this is where the de-smudger is really helpful too. You want to keep that as clean as you can, but the front of the lens really is the eye of your film. Wow, that was pretty majestic, wasn't it? It's especially important if you're using a macro lens to use a cleaning pen, because if you're using a macro lens like this that's 10 times by Moment, any kind of significant dirt that you have on that lens is going to be maximized and increased as well by the macro effect. So make sure you're using a pen to make sure you get all of those kind of marks and blemishes off of there. And again, don't forget that de-smudger to get rid of all of those nasty little smudges and marks and smears that you can get on your lens. Now, someone asked me in one of my latest videos, how do you actually clean the lens pen to keep that clean? Well, with the actual bristle end, the brush, literally just using your finger gets all the dust off, to be honest. And just doing that until you get it nice and clean and you're satisfied with it. And you can see that there's no major dirt on there. You're good to go. Just slot that right back in. Now, there's no lid for this end of this pen, which is a bit annoying, but it seems to stay clean for me, so that's not an issue. And then with the de-smudger, I actually use my fingernail. So it's quite easy to think that you're just going to get loads and loads of dirt on this and it'll stay there. So I just use the tip of my fingernail just to brush any major dirt that's on there. In doing this, I've not had any issues keeping my lens clean. Now, I can't obviously recommend a product without being very, very honest about it. The de-smudging pad came off of the plastic whilst I was showing you how to clean it. When I use the super glue to get it back on, I just use 1 drop of the super glue, and it's actually a lot more sturdy and a lot more rigid than it was when it first came in the box. If you're going to be using it quite a lot, just be aware that it might come off like it did with me. And if you use 1 drop of super glue, it will stay on, and it'll be a lot better when it first came in the box. Despite that minor blip on the Moment cleaning pen, I still would highly recommend it. I'm 100% going to use this in the next short film that I'm filming in a couple of weeks' time. If you want to learn more about the lenses that you can buy for smartphone filmmaking and check out and continue on to the video right here, where you'll learn the different types you can get and what effect they have on your image. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.